You were nodding along there.
Yeah, I think Jamie's absolutely right. This is very important element, and the stop-go that we've seen with repeated government schemes which were introduced, very complicated, quite unattractive, and then the government kills off because they failed to deliver, is sort of really, really sad. We had a thing in the early 2010s called the Green Deal, where you could borrow money, but you could borrow money at 7%. Back then, that was quite a high price to pay for the money. Now it seems a bit more realistic, but then it was a terrible interest rate. Then the government decided one of its COVID measures was going to be a thing called the Green Homes Grant. They sort of set it up, and I remember doing something with somebody from the new Treasury outfit in Darlington, where they said we were given this money. They'd been recruited in from Newcastle City Council and said, we were given this grant by the government, told to use it to retrofit homes to get them insulated. You had to use an accredited supplier. The nearest accredited supplier was in Aberdeen, and so it's not exactly a surprise that we couldn't get those homes in Newcastle retrofitted in that time period. So we've absolutely failed to have a long-term consistent plan that persuades all those people who currently fit gas boilers and things like that, that they need to train their staff up. So I think we need sort of a real go at this, and it's one of the things where the UK has fallen really badly behind other European countries that have made much more progress than we have.
Jill, can I ask you about the financial aspect of this? Because who should pay for it? I mean, should these things be directly financed by the government, or should they be incentivised schemes? Should people be getting grants to help them? Because does that not come with a complexity of its own? I mean, we've seen, for example, heat pumps, where there are grants on offer for people to put heat pumps in their home, but the take-up is low because it's still expensive.
It's still expensive, and that is a problem with heat pumps. On these insulation measures, and we've seen things where we've tried to get around it. I mean, the Green Deal, which I was mentioning, was an attempt to get around that by saying, actually, take out a loan, but fund it, and it'll come off your energy bill over time. So we really haven't cracked the funding of this, but as there is a sort of public spending case for it. There is also a sort of public information case for it. I think there's also a case for making sure that actually it's easy to access people who you can rely on to do good jobs. And I think that's a really important part of it, because if I'm going to invite someone into my home to insulate, and I definitely want one of these window panels that Jamie was just mentioning, because I have a real problem with my windows down in my flat. I think, being able to rely on people that will do a good job and I will get it done and I can see the effect on my bills. I think that is very helpful, because fuel poverty is an enduring problem in the UK. Hypothermia, deaths in winter are real big problems in the UK. But I think you're going to have to put some government money into it. The government should have done that, should have been doing that consistently over the last few years.
Jill, thank you.